Most self-care content assumes you have a home, a routine, and some stability to work with. I want to talk about self-care when you don't have any of that because I've been there. And because the people who need self-care the most are often the ones that content completely leaves out. I want to start this video by saying something that most self-care content never bothers to say. Not everyone watching this has a home right now. Not everyone has running water. Not everyone has a safe, quiet space to do a breathing exercise or drink their morning coffee. I know that, not just because of my social work education, but because I have lived it. I've experienced homelessness. I know what it's like when survival is the whole job, and the idea of self-care feels like it was designed for someone else's life. So today I want to talk about self-care that meets you where you actually are. Whether you're housed and struggling, living in unstable housing, staying with people, in a shelter, or on the street. All of this is real. All of that deserves to be in this conversation. First, let's redefine self-care, because I believe the word has been watered down, that it barely means anything anymore. Self-care at its most basic is any intentional act or not abandoning yourself. That's it. It doesn't require products, money, a home, or a routine. It requires the decision, even a small one, to do something that keeps you going, to stay on your own side. With that definition, self-care looks very different depending on where you are, and all versions are valid. So, if you're experiencing homelessness or extreme instability right now, this section is specifically for you. The first and most important thing I want to say is this. Surviving is self-care. Getting through the day, keeping yourself safe, making decisions that protect you, that is not nothing. That is the foundation everything else is built on. Don't let anyone, including yourself, minimize that. Second, know what's available to you. This is where my social work background comes in. In most areas, there are resources that exist specifically for people experiencing homelessness. Shelters, drop-in centers, day programs, community meal sites. These places often even offer more than just food and a place to sleep. Many offer showers, laundry, mental health services, case management, phone charging, and just a place to sit and be safe for a few hours. If you don't know what's available in your area, 211 is a free resource available by phone or text in most of the U.S. You tell them your situation and they'll connect you to local services. That number exists for exactly this. Third, protect your mental state within the constraints you have. That might look like finding a library to sit in for a few hours. Libraries are free, safe, warm, and often have resources. It might mean having one person you can talk to honestly. It might mean allowing yourself to feel something instead of shutting everything down just to get through. Fourth, if you're using substances to cope, and I understand why, I've been there, harm reduction matters. That means making choices that reduce risk even when you're not in a place to stop. Knowing what's in what you're taking. Not using alone if you can avoid it. Knowing where naloxone is available in your area if opioids are involved. This isn't judgment. It's staying alive so the next chapter is possible. Okay? If you're housed but running on empty, dealing with mental health, financial stress, instability of a different kind, this section is for you. Sleep is the foundation. Not perfect sleep, not protected sleep. When your mental health is struggling, sleep is often the first thing to go, and it makes everything harder. Even imperfect sleep, a few more hours, a more consistent time moves the needle. Food is self-care. Not healthy food necessarily, just food, eating something. When I'm in a hard stretch, I'll skip meals without realizing it, and it makes my mood, my ability to cope, and my energy dramatically worse. Community meal programs exist if food access is a barrier. There's no shame in using them. I have. One thing that's only for you, not productive, not for anyone else, something small that you actually want. Music, a show, sitting somewhere quiet, drawing. You're allowed to have something that's just yours. That permission matters, especially if you grew up being told your needs didn't. And a daily check-in with yourself. One question: what do I actually need today? Not what should I do, not what does my to-do list say, what do I actually need? That question, answered honestly, changes how you move through the day. The thing that applies to everyone, regardless of where you are, housed, unhoused, or somewhere in between. The most important self-care principle I know is this: don't make yourself the enemy. When things are hard, it's easy to turn the hardness into evidence about yourself, that you're weak, that you're failing, that you deserve this. That story is a lie. Hard circumstances are hard. That's about the circumstances, not about you. Stay on your own side even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Be kind to yourself. I made this video because I know what it's like to watch content that assumes your life looks like a certain way and to feel completely invisible in it. You're not invisible here. This channel is for people in the real version of life, whatever that looks like for you right now. Subscribe and come along. And if there's a resource or a self-care tool that has helped you, especially if you've been in survival mode, drop it in the comments. Let's build something useful together. All right, I'm out.